We are starting today with Pool B. In the first round on my stream, we have TRK versus Flakes, Moxie, and Raziers. All of Raziers' games will be happening on Hootie's channel, so therefore won't show up on the YouTube. But this is the current state of the tournament. We're headed into round one of Pool B, TRK versus Flakes. Chat, here we go. We got TRK versus Flakes in Pool B of the Fear Fest finale EU portion of the tournament. I think that's all the qualifiers we need. Flakes making a magical run through the qualifier without losing a series. Dropped a couple games, but that's it in his way to making it into the main event. Warmed up today against Rawas. Saw him at a private match against Rawas right before this one, and there's no better player to warm up against right now in the game than Rawas, but TRK is going to be just about as tough as he is. Flakes off the wall, and TRK letting a slow roll in. Flakes has been a very cordial 1v1er so far in the tournament. Always wishing the opponent good luck at the start and always crediting every shot with a nice shot. I mean, not every shot with a nice shot, but Flakes, the way he kind of defends almost does seem like he forces a nice shot every time. This time it's off of a delayed shot from TRK, who's just going to try and muscle through Flakes up 2-0. How long will the Cinderella run for Flakes go? And, you know, it's kind of crazy to call Flakes a top ones player making a Cinderella run, but I think he just has been away from the game for long enough that we can say that. Of course, if he turns around and wins this pool, it's going to be time to stop calling it a Cinderella run and time to just recognize that Flakes is still our 1v1 overlord. TRK, this full field dribble plays right into Flakes' hand, who's waiting on the goal line. Take back to the corner. Boost does not spawn for him in time. But he does force TRK to take a really strong 50 that goes past the net. Now TRK wall to air dribble. Flakes falling from the ceiling. Can't intercept, and it's a TRK 3-0 lead. By the way, Flakes playing the tournament live as he normally does. He played the qualifier live. That didn't seem to affect him in his path to getting, you know, a perfect series record there. But he is live here during pool play. I don't think that affects Flakes as much as it does other players. TRK going all the way from the back wall. The double is not in. Flakes may have been around to save that as well. Full field double reset. TRK in the zone here. Early reset bump on Flakes. Not going to work. Flakes does get around it. Flakes needs to find a bit of offense, though. So the first minute and 30 has been all TRK all the time, and just Flakes trying to stop the bleeding. He hasn't brought the ball into the blue half except for this moment right here. And now he needs to capitalize on this opportunity. He has a boost advantage, and he does score. First goal for Flakes. TRK creeping out to the side wall. Maybe feeling confident the way the game had been going so far that he could stick around the play no matter what his boost situation was. But Flakes does punish him for staying too close. Direct kickoff for TRK. That's the kind of stuff that probably needs to go in Flakes' favor if he wants to stand a chance in the series against TRK. Tried to go wave dash kickoff and did not get square enough on the 50. TRK passed to himself off the back wall. Flakes thought he could intercept it, but instead TRK rolls it in for a fifth. So far, this game has been all TRKs. Flakes actually does have a pretty decent conversion rate on times that he's been on offense. Might even be 1 for 1, but the problem is you can't get away with being on offense as infrequently as Flakes has been. He is patient in this one, though. Taking back to his corner. TRK chases him down, popping it over the top of him, and a second goal for Flakes. TRK throwing the nice one. TRK this time not challenging early, and that first pop is strong enough that TRK is having to rush back to a position where he can make a play, and ends up being off cadence with his jumps. Flakes goes over the top of him, but I mean, right now, a couple of different direct kickoff goals are the thing that's keeping Flakes from getting anywhere close. If he could, at the very least, neutralize those, he'd be much more in this game. But this is a poor kickoff for him again. Better than the previous one that went directly in his net, though. TRK wall to air dribble, aiming to that far post. Great setup. The 50 goes underneath. In fact, it's not a 50 at all. I don't think Flakes gets a touch on this ball. TRK, great setup to bring the ball to a position where anywhere could be the end destination of his shot. Flakes feels the need to jump, and TRK goes underneath. TRK fake. Flakes is there for it. Should be able to get the midfield boost as well. Will Flakes try and chase down this ball? No, he thinks wiser of that. Should not have been surprised. His backflip challenges, though, for Flakes have not been going well. He's been trying to turn around, shadow, get near the play, and then surprise with a backflip challenge. But this one is nowhere near the play. TRK able to cut it away from his backflip and roll in a freebie. Flakes direct kickoff goal, a third. That's a good sign for him going forward. The fact that he can get some of these kickoffs to go in his favor, that's definitely what he's going to have to do, not just in this game, but in this series as well. Form 205 asks how to donate to Feer to the prize pool. So, unfortunately, this is a very rare occasion where I actually think I cannot accept your donations to the prize pool. Normally, I'd love to. As Flakes power slide cuts around the net and gets TRK up before 50ing underneath him. And the reason why is the prize pool is at the max amount for community tournaments that are not approved by Psionics. So we have reached the max of $15,000. Oh, Flakes. A nasty own goal here. TRK just throwing the ball on net. Flakes trying to get a soft save off the backboard and instead went for one of the craziest zero boost doubles I've ever seen. TRK camera check to see what Flakes is doing. Flakes is backing completely off the play. TRK, strong first touch. What a scoop on the reset, and it actually kept it far away from the back wall, enough that he maybe could have gotten an angle to shoot. He definitely tried to. Couldn't get it through. Flakes. Side flip. Intercepted by TRK, but follow-up is well-timed for Flakes. Flakes, nice. Little touch, small touch with the back end of his car off a single jump is exactly the arc the ball needed. TRK diving into Flakes' corner to starve him at the beginning of this possession. Flakes able to get 150. I'm surprised he even flips out to this corner. Oh, it's because he has an opportunity to steal it away. He falls right on the ball so as not to get punished for the fact that he is now falling from the heavens with zero boost. TRK out to the midfield. Doesn't want Flakes to have 100 by himself. Flakes stealing reset. Tries to tap to the opposite post of TRK, but at that point, the angle was too shallow. TRK has the coverage. 30 seconds left to go, and while the end of this game has looked great for Flakes, doesn't seem like it's going to be enough to bring back this game number one. Flakes really does love that delayed backflip flick. Good sign for the series going forward. I think TRK might have gone up 4-0 or something close to that, something around 4-1. So since then, the Flakes turnaround has been impressive. He's at least equalized the game. Maybe if he continues this trend, he can get back into the series game number 2. He's going to get one more goal. So 9-6 will be the scoreline of game 1. TRK off to a hot start. The favorite to win the pool, up 1-0. You could maybe call it hopium or copium for Flakes fans, but Flakes usually does a better job in later parts of the series as he works to download his opponent's tendencies. If there's anybody who is very cerebral about the way they approach 1v1, there's a guy like Flakes who's going to try and discover and punish the little mistakes that you make in your 1v1 game. But for now, it is TRK driving the series forward, and Flakes having to be the one to find some way to get something going on offense. This pinch with TRK results in a Flakes win to the corner boost. He launches the ball high, a place where only he should be able to get to it. considering his boost advantage, but then he interestingly lets the ball come all the way down to the ground. Doesn't try and outplay TRK in the air like you maybe would expect to, and that's because Flakes just wants to beat you slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. 80% chance to score, not good enough. Flakes wants 100%. And this time, he punishes TRK for creeping out to the side wall. Taps it over the top of him and knows for sure he's going to be getting his goal. You can just imagine Flakes commentating over his live. Well, guess what? You don't have to imagine if you don't want to. Flakes is live streaming his matches like he has been all tournament long. TRK trying to go low underneath Flakes, who does go high on the hitbox for the midfield boost in order to steal it away from TRK. TRK has more than enough to work with. Flakes is just trying to hover in that awkward spot right off the back wall where TRK doesn't feel comfortable coming to the ground. He's going to have to hand possession away, which is what Flakes wants. Flakes now in control. Interesting flick. I think because he felt like he had a chance to just speed past TRK. I would have expected him to get a carry and work it slow like we were known to see Flakes do, but he just felt like there was a window. He's going to get a second goal here. TRK, once again, just playing a bit too quick. Pushes the ball out to Flakes, and Flakes is well positioned to steal the ball and take it away. Flakes having to dodge a demo attempt as he looks to do damage control on what was a very poor kickoff at the start of this play. Now he's got himself his 100 boost. TRK actually has to back off and is going to give Flakes possession. Most Rocket League 1v1ers in the game right now see that bounce straight up and down and take it in for a full field O dribble because it costs so little boost when you have such a good setup. Flakes is not one of those 1v1ers. He's going to let the ball come all the way down to the ground before trying to make his play. He won't be able to stick with this one. So TRK, who I just talked about, how top 1v1ers can't resist those bounces, will take that air dribble. But Flakes pre-jumps him. He's able to stop him. He has been able to silence TRK's offense, but not for long. TRK gets his first goal of this game, number 2. The backflip pop and half flip too to make sure he's prepped and ready to go for Flakes' touch. Flakes had to go up to meet him. If he stays completely grounded, TRK pops out of his half flip and most likely shoots over the top of Flakes, so he felt the need to get up. But kickoffs are going in his favor. Like I said before, I think that'll be the recipe for success if you're Flakes. Slight kickoff advantage, and then maybe keeping the score lines low, I think works in Flakes' favor. He's going to half flip kickoff here. TRK gets absolutely nothing out of his carry. TRK straight down the center of the field. Flakes has the first save and is probably excited to see TRK getting a bit greedy for the second attempt because he knows that he can punish him here. And this is exactly what Flakes likes to do. TRK thought he could get another shot, but that's the exact kind of game that Flakes wants you to play. Bait you in, make you think you have a chance, get you to make a bad challenge, and punish you to go up 4-1. Flakes forces players to play a different 1v1 game. I think that's what it comes down to, especially considering the one's meta that these top players are used to. Games just don't play out the way Flakes makes you play them. He brings the game to a screeching halt and forces you to be careful with every move you make. Flakes, a direct touch into TRK. TRK should be able to collect this and take it away, but it actually costs him the last bit of his boost to launch down to Flakes, who has controlled the ball in the orange half. TRK placing it in a good spot. You know, I think you want to hand possessions to Flakes high near the ceiling where he doesn't want to take them. It's pretty clear Flakes does not want to start from there. Always wants the ball to come back down to the ground. So it's a good idea to force him to play high when he has the possession. And what does Flakes do? He slams the ball away immediately, and then TRK gets an air dribble right back. TRK recognizing that Flakes wants to make that goal line save, so just comes to the ground and bumps him out of the way. Interesting kickoff from Flakes. Not what you want to see from him. All of chat dying of cringe over TRK's bump attempt. How about this one? Wall to air dribble. Gets the reset and wave dashes into third. And it feels like a matter of time, if TRK continues to control kickoffs like this, that Flakes will not be able to hold on to this lead. Not against the offensive powerhouse that is the Falcons player. TRK into his back corner. He is not resisting a high bounce like this. He does fall slightly underneath the ball for the resets and has to work his way back behind it before taking the shot. Flakes gets the save, has a hook shot for a fifth, make it 5-3. Flakes, 30 seconds left to go. Can he hold on to a 2-goal lead? Will he change up the kickoff at all? Doesn't seem likely. TRK off the back wall, trying to play it extra slow. Felt like he probably needed to slot it high if he wanted to get past Flakes. Instead, he gives Flakes another freebie. And Flakes is never going to give you a free shot in a late game, especially with a lead. He is going to make you outplay him. And if you don't, he's just going to extend the lead even further. You know, I mean, as I say that, he lets TRK have a pretty easy play here towards the end of the game. That's because Flakes half flipping out of the kickoff and just gets completely destroyed by TRK's fake. 12 seconds left to go. Wave dash kickoff for Flakes hasn't been going as well as it does for some other players. He's lost a few of those directly into his net and lost possession to TRK on this one. But he knows that he won this game because he has delayed TRK long enough. He's going to prevent him from bringing it within 1. He wants him to know that the win was by 2. Flakes ties up the series 1-1. Just a best of 3 left to decide the difference. Game number 3. TRK and Flakes playing out like a storybook so far. TRK coming out with his unstoppable offense in the first game, and Flakes doing what he does best, downloading the opponent and adjusting so as to play the game that he wants to play in game number 2. But will it be enough to prevent TRK from fighting back? This air dribble attempted to be slotted right inside that top left corner, and Flakes couldn't get enough of a clear to prevent the follow-up from TRK. Why don't we put Middle East server and EU server each match? I think the biggest reason why is EU connection to Middle East server is not as good as the reverse. Middle East connection to EU is better. And the Middle East players are also very, very used to playing on EU servers. They probably play most of their ranked there. And so it's kind of like US West players. US West players have to play all their tournaments on US East just because that is where all official tournaments are played and where the US West players are very used to playing, even though they get similar ping, I would say, to the Middle East players do on EU. Look at the shot from TRK. TRK is starting to pop off and make it impossible for Flakes to stop him. The full field dribble, the reset right when Flakes tries to challenge into a double, and the bump as well. I mean, the man does it all in the process of getting a third goal. TRK starting with a lead again. Started with a serious lead in game number 1, and it was too much for Flakes to come back from. I do think what most of Flakes' wins will look like is a nice slow game in which he's relevant the whole way through. A game like this where TRK is popping off for a full 4-goal lead is going to be one that I really see Flakes coming back from. And I know that's crazy to say because there's 4 minutes left in the game. In normal context, you would never suggest this lead being insurmountable, but the way Flakes likes to play, it's going to be a tough game for him. It's game number 3. TRK deciding to pull off the ball. No shot he can make would have been better than him just leaving to grab boost, and he is forcing Flakes to make tough save after tough save. I mean, if you're going to place a shot as perfectly as this, there's nothing Flakes can do. Sure, you can get one save, but you're not going to be able to get the save again when he puts it right back in the best location. Flakes was forced into the side wall of the net, and there's no way he's recovering. TRK outplaying Flakes on the sidewall, and now can rush back to net. It's going to be a reset wave dash. Everything is going TRK's way. It's interesting. When TRK is playing this perfectly on offense, and I think very crucially, gaining control of kickoffs as frequently as he is in this game, you know, it looks like Flakes is outclassed. It looks like, what is Flakes doing here, sitting in net, just getting destroyed by TRK time and time again. But if TRK starts to lose control of the kickoffs a little bit, lets Flakes control the play, that's when we saw him get a game win. So it's just such a huge swing of momentum between these two. Look at Flakes, classic, as he shifts behind the ball, waiting for TRK to make that backflip challenge that should not be favorable for him, but he does manage to prevent Flakes from scoring. Now it's another reset dribble for TRK. Pops the ball high. He's just going to try and 50 it on the goal line. Flakes can't keep it out, and I think TRK might have gotten one more touch to finish it. 7-0. This game is certainly TRK's. I mean, half the game left to go. Flakes is not the kind of guy to ever give up, I don't think. He's the kind of guy to just work harder and recognize what's happening, that he's not been stopping. Try and see if he can prove it. Air dribble fake, and then takes down to the ground. The wave dash. TRK throws the nice one. I don't think he was intentionally trying to set up the Brazil. I think he was prepping to try and make the save. This is a really good delayed shot from Flakes. TRK, another kickoff win. One of his weaker offensive attacks here, but ends up placing the ball well. Flakes actually going to throw him the nice shot. This is kind of the Flakes style offense. Pushing the ball to an awkward place for the defender is really all that's important, and putting it directly behind Flakes makes it hard for him to clear with any sort of power. Flakes is going to read TRK's half-flip kickoff, take the ball back to his corner. TRK demoed as he tries to cut in front of Flakes' net. And so now Flakes, with 2 minutes on the clock, slightly less. He needs to start getting some goals of his own. He wants to entertain the idea of winning game number 3. And TRK picks up a couple pads and then tries to pre-jump the hook shot, but the hook shot is too strong, too well placed. So many of these wall-to-air dribble kickoffs have been getting lost by Flakes, though. I haven't been focusing on the way he's been setting them up, but he needs to prevent TRK from getting those positions, because like some other 1v1 players in the game, TRK is basically automatic with a wall-to-air dribble. And it's equivalent, or just as close to equivalent as possible, as a direct kickoff win with how much he turns them in for goals. Flakes able to win this challenge in the midfield to get a third goal. Another wall-to-air dribble kickoff win off a standard kickoff. TRK instantly uses a jump, actually pushes him away. Did he jump off the ball but still had a second flip since he jumped off the ball and the timer wasn't up? How did he have another one to backflip away from the play? But either way, that second use of the flip was just a mistake. It made him even farther away from stopping Flakes. TRK, direct kickoff win, 9-4. Yo, Rampage RL, thank you for the prime. TRK getting creative on the kickoffs as well. That is the different kind of half-flip kickoff, where you turtle onto the ground and use the X to get back up button right as you connect with the ball. Flakes just has to give TRK credit here. launching this reset. Looking like he's going to make his way back to the ball. Flakes feels the need to go up to attempt to stop that, and instead TRK pulls off and lets the ball fall underneath. 10-4. Offensive barrage from TRK. Another full field dribble for him, and it's going to be a pop over the top of Flakes' challenge. Flakes just tossed to the earth. Nice shots left and right here. It's his only defense against very effective TRK. Another kickoff win for TRK. It's really what it comes down to right now. Yo, they were the $5 for the winner TRK. Like I mentioned before, not sure we can add money to the prize pool, but the winner of this series will be getting $100, regardless of where they end up finishing in the tournament. TRK, a demo. Will he make it 12-5 to end the game? He will. So TRK hopefully not using up all his offense in this game, but certainly making it look like it's going to be a foregone conclusion in game number 4 that he continues on for his series win. We saw yesterday in the North American pool play every single series go 3-1. Will we see another 3-1 here? Not sure how the other series is going on Hootie's channel. Flakes is going to keep it up. Apparently he's in no rush to get out of this whomping that has been game number 3. Game number 4. TRK and Flakes. TRK exploded for an offense that was unstoppable for Flakes, but most importantly, he started to consistently win the kickoffs. It's hard to remember the last time Flakes won one. In fact, this is actually a decent start for him. That him being Flakes, because he did pressure TRK a little bit off the kickoff. It wasn't an immediate dribble for TRK, but he did get to his spot nonetheless, and it will be a full field dribble reset to get the first goal. Wave dash kickoff for Flakes as he looks for the answer. That is getting past TRK standard. I think TRK has stuck with pretty much just standard kickoffs, and those have been enough to get past Flakes every time. Just really effective mechanical standard kickoff can do it for you. Flakes going to pop this ball past TRK. Wave dash kickoff had been really ugly for Flakes previously, but making a slight adjustment, maybe seeing how TRK is playing his kickoff, and has at least been able to neutralize them now. In fact, has another first possession. He's going to be forced to back off this ball unless TRK pops the ball too much. TRK did have a huge boost advantage, though, so now he backs off, and this is a dangerous position. So this is when TRK, at least in the previous game, was able to score every time. Flakes knows it. He's made that adjustment to coming to challenge on the side wall and not letting TRK start his wall to air dribble. Now Flakes with the ball bouncing back and forth. This is classic Flakes. This is where Flakes wants to be. He wants the ball bouncing left to right on the map, and he wants to be able to cut past somebody, or in this case, fake them to get the second goal. TRK throws the incoming no way as he gets destroyed on that take. I expect to see more wave dash kickoff for Flakes because right now it has been a good enough answer. TRK not getting that good of an opportunity off this kickoff, but he still has one. Flakes knowing to pre-jump. He wants to meet TRK high. How is he going to try and defend this one, though? TRK, the reset, and lets the ball just bounce through. Flakes couldn't connect with it. So interesting what the reset can do in the game nowadays. Just make defenders look silly, even if you never end up using it. Diagonal kickoff. Flakes is not going to go for standard, or sorry, not going to go for wave dash, which he had been doing all game long. but he still gets a good position out of it. You know he's going to go for the ball carry. Sees TRK creeping towards him. Decides to test his defense. How can he handle a ball sent to the back wall? Can he stay in control of it? Doesn't seem like TRK can. He should be releasing control eventually, right? Just kidding. TRK absolutely can. Playing towards the end of his boost tank, he gets exactly what he needs at the midfield 100 and is able to play it off the ceiling. He was so close to losing control of that ball. Did that boost spawn right underneath him, or was it there the whole time? Either way, it was the key to him being able to finish off that play. TRK from the back corner. Really strong first touch. Flakes, does he have the answer to TRK? This time he does. Save the bounce. That Flakes does not get tricked by that TRK reset fake. Flakes taking the ball down to his car again. He loves the flick game. Can he get TRK to miss on defense? Last time we saw him get a clear so far out. The power slide cut from Flakes is so clean. My goodness. It is hard to stop the ball like this. And the thing is, Flakes will do this, and then he'll say, you know, getting to Grand Champ with no mechanics or something like that. That is a hard mechanic. That is a hard mechanic. Getting that perfect power slide cut right back towards the net. There's a reason why TRK didn't expect it. It's because it's not easy to do. Just because it isn't a crazy reset doesn't mean it isn't a hard mechanic. But Flakes ties the game. TRK falling from the ceiling. Flakes gets a reset on boost here, and it's not going to matter, though. TRK barely needs any, and he still makes it over the top of him. 35 boost used to get back to the ball, and then the flip is what makes Flakes not able to connect. Flakes rolling slowly at the nets, having to flip back through some pads because he is in a tough position now. TRK forcing a defensive touch out of Flakes while he goes to grab his boost. And he actually escapes from Flakes on the corner, 5-3. Flakes, you can see, trying to hold on to the 31 boost that he had, but could not afford to turn back in towards the corner. Had to prep for a shadow and start expecting the ball to be in front of the net. Instead, he gets lost driving into the corner. Power shot off the wall for TRK. Likely to take this back all the way into the blue half, I would imagine, as he's looking to just maintain possession against Flakes. Full field dribble for him. It's worked well. Look at this reset. Can he carry it all the way in? No. Flakes stays patient on the goal line. Ultimately, the finish did not have a ton of movement to end that possession. That's why Flakes is able to get the save despite how impressive it was for TRK to stay in control of it. TRK, he's going to take this bounce. You know he is. And Flakes knows it too. He pre-jumps it. He's up at the ceiling to stop that dribble. TRK, though, immediately turned back down to the ground and prepped for his second chance, which is this one. It's going to be another fake. Flakes forced in the air because TRK is just too good. And he'll get a sixth goal. Seems like Flakes has done it. Likely created a deficit that cannot be made up by Flakes. Thank you, Juicy, for the raid, by the way. Hopefully you had a good stream today. Juicy, one of the unfortunate victims to Flakes in the qualifier. And I think he'd be the first one to say Flakes is a tough opponent to play against. TRK, this fake doesn't lead to a shot attempt, but it is a safe maneuver. So make sure the ball stays in his control, which is all he needs here in the final 30 seconds. I love these reset musties. That's what he did in the previous dribble, where he gets the reset and instantly musties out of the reset, which is just, you don't see too often. Flakes, the 180 backflip flick. It is going to be a loss for Flakes in the first round, but taking a game off TRK is something that could end up playing into his favor because tiebreaker does go to the game advantage. TRK could be sweeping other people in this pool for sure. 7-3. The best of 5 goes to TRK. GG's from Flakes. A good performance from him. We want to see how Flakes squares up against one of the top ones players, incredibly mechanical. Well, now you have your answer. TRK still with the edge.